that strong? Are they putting too much stock in these concerns about regulations?
I'll let you figure it out as to why. I mean, I give you two reasons. One, they're worried that the money might be cut off, or they're worried that that we're increasing the national debt or something, you know, but you need to go and ask them.
But you don't have those concerns. I mean, are they putting too much?
No, I don't have any. I don't have those concerns. Look, I ran the budget committee. I was, you know, one of the architects of the balanced budget. I mean, I know these programs need to be transformed. Here in Ohio, we've transformed Medicaid. I mean, these guys have done a fantastic job on that. I just don't agree with those arguments. But, you know, look, I can counter them, but at the end of the day, you know, in some ways, it's like with my wife or some of my friends, we take a different position, and then they say to me, well, what, do you just want to beat me into agreeing with you? I mean, in this business, it doesn't usually work that way.
What about as a standalone bill for Medicaid expansion? I mean,
that'll have to be, I mean, we have Matt Carl over here, you can talk to him about it, but I don't know that you have the 50 votes at this point. I mean, might the 50 votes show up? And yeah, I mean, it might, but I don't know. I don't know that it will. A lot of it is up to the outside groups to talk to their legislators and to tell them how important this is, and that involves this entire community, the provider community, the mental health community. I mean, they just have to say how important it is to them. Because if I were to go and, you know, I mean, how many more speeches can I make about how strongly I feel about it? I mean, the state of the state was clear. I mean, I've done, some of you have been out at my Lincoln Day dinners. I've taken this issue on as passionately as anything I've done. And look, sometimes in this business, it takes time. You know, when I offered my first budget in Washington, the vote was 405 to 30. And 3 years later, I got more votes than the president. These things take time. And I know that, you know, we're in a society today of what's in it, what is it right now? Well, right now doesn't always work. But I have to tell you, when you look at the landscape, and some of you are new reporters, and maybe you don't see this, balanced budget, kill the death tax, cut the income tax, third grade reading guarantee, A through F, turnpike, energy reform, Cleveland school plan, you know, that's just an amazing litany of change. Now we're to the point where we really don't have this big crisis. And, you know, without a crisis, sometimes it takes longer to change things. But you have to be patient about it. And like I say, look, I want lower income taxes and I want lower small business taxes. We have to start with the chairman saying I want to do more. We got a $1.2 billion increase in education. Okay, so if they want to divide the resources up a little bit different, that's okay, because we think there's tweaks that we can put on our plan if left alone to our own devices. It's just the Medicaid is the big thing that stands out there. The higher education piece. Who would have thought that university presidents would only take half of their money until kids graduate? I mean, these are significant changes, and it's good.
Is your severance tax proposal dead?
Well, in the House, it's dead now. And but I will tell you this: if you think that we're going to maintain a 20-cent tax on a $90 barrel of oil over time, then you get a check under your pillow for the tooth fairy. This will change. When it's going to change, I don't know. I first proposed 13 B-2 bombers rather than 132. It took me 10 years and we ended up with 20. I don't know at what point this is going to happen, but outside of the members of the legislature and the special interest groups, I don't know anybody that thinks we shouldn't modernize the severance tax, but just keep at it. Wake up and fight another day. Bill Paxton, when I was in the Congress, he gave me a saw, and he said, John, just keep sawing. And that's kind of the way I look at all this. So, you know, I'd like to have everything I want, but that's not the way the world works, and that's not the way that life works. But we just keep at it to do good for Ohio.
It doesn't sound like you're taking it personally, then.
Taking it personally, I don't take.
This is your party doing this.
No, I don't take. Look, first of all, things have changed, and secondly, you know, in terms of taking it personally, I'm not in this for my personal advantages. I'm in this to try to get Ohio to be in a better place. This is not. I mean, I don't take. This is the way it is in a big time state, and when you're doing big time things, and you take it personally, you're absolutely headed down the wrong road. Do I seem like I'm personal about it? It's just, you know, the thing that I've always had is I have always kind of thought ahead of where most of the crowd is. You know, I was the guy that told you we could balance the budget without cutting taxes, and you all thought I was just, you know, off my rocker. There's a lot of things that I've had vision for that it takes time to get people to catch up to it. I'm a change agent. And when you're a change agent, you just expect to walk a lonely road at times. So it doesn't bother me. I've been doing it my entire lifetime from when I was just a 15 or 16-year-old kid. I mean, this is what I do. And so I don't take anything personally. And the other thing you don't do is you don't knock the pieces off the chessboard because you don't get everything you want. You know, you just have to unlock people. And sometimes it takes more time than less time. But when I look at the total scope of what's been accomplished in the state, I'm thrilled with it. But there's a lot more to go, and Ohio needs to maintain its momentum, and that's what we're trying to do. So.